I got a mustache too. That's like that long, flowing one.
Of course.
She has
And
no clue I'm wearing it.
hello, everyone, and welcome back to
it's gonna be fun.
Cosmos Candela. My name is Steve. I am your game mommy, and you're watching Dying of Exposure. Dying of Exposure, unofficial and really, and I use this term too lightly. So far as we know, non-consensual sponsor of Demiplane. We have not reached out to them for any kind of as an organization.
Don't say it like that.
I mean, that's what it
makes it
is.
sound
That's what
dirty.
we're doing. That's what we're
It
doing.
makes it sound dirty.
It is dirty.
Yeah, it's like-
I mean, it's
It is dirty.
It's like we play flirt. You know, it's like it's
Is
one of
Demi
those.
playing?
It's one of those like, yeah, we're playing unless you're gonna do it. That kind of thing, you know.
yeah, unless you want to.
JK,
Wouldn't it be
yeah.
crazy if we kissed? Like, I mean, we'd never do it.
Wouldn't
I
it
mean,
be
unless you
wild?
wanted
It'd
to.
be
Demi
real
playing-
crazy if we were
No,
sponsored.
Can we
no,
imagine?
I'm kidding.
Wow,
I'm
I
kidding.
hate this.
I mean, unless
What if
no,
we-
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, unless
I mean,
no,
I'll
I'm
hold hands
kidding.
if you want to hold hands.
I mean,
but like, I
yeah.
don't want to hold hands. But if you want to,
But if you
I don't
want to
know,
hold
I'm up.
hands.
Do anything. Demi playing.
you want to hold hands. I mean, I'm
But
not gonna say no.
welcome back to Cosmos Candela. Welcome back, my kooky cosmonauts. How you doing today? Ready for this?
Good.
Cosmonauts.
After seeing what we saw, fantastic.
Pretty good.
Yeah. We got some nice new goodies from one of our very, very talented players, and I'm very excited for that to be revealed in their final versions. And we've got some fun breaking news that'll make us a little sad for like a little period of time, but I'm very excited for them. But we're not worrying about that now because we have other things to worry about. Because our little group of cosmonauts is not feeling so kooky right now.
We are uncooked.
Last time on Cosmos Candela, our group found themselves surrounding the Vox Box, a karaoke bar, deploying across it after hearing various screams inside. Kilo, knowing that their
just remembered
coworker and friend was at danger in there, and after having barred the front door from whatever was trying to escape, ran around the side, but not before Nim got all the way to the back and spotted two large-mouthed, bloody-tongued, over-teethed humanoids that are deeply struggling to not bleed out on the floor to their own serration of their own mouth parts. But these hungry and happy little guys, they're not little, they're normal size, but these hungry and happy guys chased him forward, but through a smoke bomb they managed to tuck inside. At the same time, Tery went a bit catatonic for most of it, but fortunately from quick thinking a la Eddie, Eddie sent the three that were trying to break out the front door that Kilo had barricaded back from whence they came down the hallway, and went to go meet Nim where their scream was and follow after Kilo. And Tery went to the core of who they are as a human being and decided to hide.
I do not blame Tery for a second.
I was like, I would hide.
No,
I kind of do.
I don't.
After
This is
Tery's
scary.
doing what any normal person should be doing.
Yes.
Not in a horror movie.
Yeah. And so
Surviving the horror flick.
so Kilo Izzy having been in the vents and spotted Yancey, though unbeknownst to them, it's Yancey. Izzy drops down from the ceiling on top of the Smiler, I think is what we're calling them, that was currently gnawing on the or on a piece of Yancey's shoulder and neck, and would have been in trouble because though they rolled an excellent move roll, they did not roll as well of a fight roll. But fortunately, Kilo just barreled in and form tackled the Smiler, and then upon seeing that Yancey was near death, handed off a med pack to Izzy, and then proceeded to quite literally, for lack of a better word, pulverize, turn into a bloody pulp the body of this Smiley.
Extreme. That doesn't sound like something I would
Make
do.
a slurry of their form with just pure punches.
That doesn't sound like
the art. Let's see
Puree.
the art. Let's see his size.
But
Quick question:
Roll the
was
clips.
my line used?
Roll the clip.
Steve?
so I did not see your line until before the game. So unfortunately, I need to say this. I'm gonna take a
Is it a Quasi
scar.
Quasar thing?
No, it's not a Quasi Quasar thing. It was a perfect line, and I'm sad that I missed it until after
Galaxies?
the thing. Can't make it tonight. Blah blah blah. I did want to have Izzy say, "Too bad my name isn't Mike." Because I'm about to drop in, and also
Lord.
traitor wound with the money
I'm
bag.
gonna beat you up, Glitch.
That's
the
the only real cloth I'd have.
You've gone you back to the corner with you.
No, but instead of
I'm done.
Glitch being punished for both cringe and excellent pun,
I put Izzy in the corner.
I instead take
I
a
would
permanent
ask Yancy
scar.
if she carried okay. So
So,
Stop it.
the scene now.
Stop.
Tery, kitty corner on the opposite street corner behind some like sound barrier in like a townhome sort of situation, but not like inside one of them, just sort of in the front vents. Tery tucked away. Izzy, Izzy hovering over Yancey's body with a med pack and a cloth bag with a dollar sign on it in order to try and stem the bleeding. Bleeding of this. Eddie and Nim both at the now closed side door, staring at three Smilers in one direction and another Smiler or another couple Smilers going or kind of moving about in the main like bar stage of this karaoke place. Kilo currently closing in on one of said Smilers that's trying to engage with two people huddled behind like a turned over cocktail table. And unbeknownst to the party in the distance, somebody watching Tery through a very long scope on a very long rifle. But until that, smoking a cigarette. But we go back into it. And we're going to start Glitch with Izzy. I did not roll this, and I held off on this roll because I want this roll to be in your hands.
okay, let's roll.
Izzy, you are applying medical knowledge to try and stop this person, this hairless feline-inspired alien young woman from bleeding out right in front of you. You have a medical kit that Kilo had made sure to grab as part of their supplies. So you have a medical kit on hand. You have your canvas sack with the dollar sign on it. I'm not going to ignore that has lots of uses. Because it does. Canvas sack is a very useful thing.
Yeah, canvas is fucking adorable. Like,
yeah,
it's applicable to a lot of things.
Thank God you brought that.
Izzy. This here is a control roll. You automatically get another extra bonus pip for the med kit. What's up?
Can I make? You can say no. You can say no. What was Izzy's sport that he was so good at? I can't remember the title of the sport.
Waterball.
Aquapool.
Aquapool.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Does anybody ever get like severely injured in Aquapool?
I mean, Izzy has done enough sports where, injuries have happened.
So, like, you've been repaired by other people like multiple times.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So,
I've helped repair people.
What was the sport? What was the basketball-inspired sport that's like super deadly?
Is there a death something or whatever? It's blood. No.
It's So you have to have like a
She needs a
basic
new one I
understanding of
wrote
sports
down.
medicine.
Yeah, because it wasn't free ball. Free ball's your favorite.
I'm just saying it's okay if the answer is no, because he already has like some things in his corner, but he has seen himself repaired by others many
Brawl
a time.
cycle.
So I'm just wondering if that helps him out at
so
all.
the reason that I am not penalizing Izzy of any of the people in this group is because he has had so. If
I'm your
good,
field
okay.
medic.
All right.
If Izzy went to community college in Velis, Izzy definitely attended sports medicine classes. There is just a 0% chance that did not happen. But more importantly,
I feel better about
himself.
this.
And so yeah. So Izzy, you get your full control roll. You get a bonus free extra roll because you have the medic. So that puts you at 3 pips, and you can burn. You can burn
Please,
up to
Izzy.
2 more drives if you want
I'm
to.
burning a drive.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So
I'm
you,
so
I
nervous.
need
So
you to know you need a 6. The 6 is the only way that this NPC does not die here on the spot.
Burning another drive.
Oh my
Has
god.
to roll a 6?
2 drives for this. Oh shit.
Has to be a 6.
my god.
Cannot be anything
No
lower
pressure.
than a 6 is death
Oh
for
my
this
god,
NPC.
I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be
No
sick.
pressure, but like some
I'm gonna be
pressure.
sick. I can't
Oh
do
my
it.
god.
And I got a 6. And I said,
Oh,
I wasted a drive, but I don't care. It was worth it.
So,
It
Describe
was
for
3,
me.
3,
Hell
4,
yeah.
6.
Yes.
Describe for me as
I need more
amongst all
air.
of this like action and chaos with this
Oh my
rather
That's okay.
rather like you
fine.
can identify Izzy. This is like a teenager. This is like a
I'm also
19-year-old.
catching some air.
This is a 19-year-old, even though since she looks like a hairless cat, she also looks 80. This is a 19-year-old
thing.
of this species, and you've never really met Yancey as far like or anything like that. You don't really have 100%, but this is a victim, and they are on. Describe what Izzy does to stem a massive amount of blood and deal with that problem of just having just a chunk of your like trapezoid, or not your trapezoid, the fucking
That's a shape.
Deltoid?
yeah,
Right there?
deltoid. Yeah, deltoid, little bit of trap, little bit of neck, and then like a little bit of the in front of the collarbone, just like a full mouthful just gouged out of her. Describe how Izzy stops her from dying. She rolled a
Okay.
6.
This is one of those, I understand that this is gonna hurt like hell. I've seen something like this when I played. I'm looking at when I played Brawl Cycle. Weird accident, things happen. But you don't have a timer box in there, so it's gonna be a lot easier. I got you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And also, Kilo has told me a lot about you.
Oh gosh. They will never
Uh,
let me live this down.
You know what, Izzy?
Oh no.
Take a. I'm going to say take a resistance token or a resistance bone triangle, I guess, in intuition for mentioning that Kilo has talked. It's not something you did naturally, or it's not something you did necessarily did intentionally, but if Kilo, too busy right now to hear that, were to be able to telepathically get into the subconscious of Yancey's mind, the idea of Kilo talking about Yancey to anyone was not something they had considered, and the amount of dopamine that has flushed their entire brain, helping with the
It's the happy
pain
adrenaline.
of this, acting as a panacea to the pain that they are about to experience to not bleed out. But
Oh my gosh.
Kilo.
Poor baby.
I will say, while treating the wound, when I use the bag as a tourniquet, I want to make sure the money sign is visible.
Oh yeah,
And
of course.
very,
Money out, dollar out.
like, good.
Yeah, money out. Money out.
Now you get this money. Like, go ahead.
Money out, blood in.
Yeah. Actually, not Kilo.
Not me.
Money out, blood in.
Eddie and Nim, 3 smilers have clocked the 2 of you.
Oh,
Right.
God.
You are right inside of that side door, and they are moving in your direction. What do the 2 of you do about these smilers approaching you?
Hold the
Ooh.
muscle.
Nim immediately turns to Eddie, pulls out some more, like 1 or 2 more of the knockout balls, and goes, "Do you want to be bait? Go left, go right, pitch him in the middle. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, sure. I get that. Seems as good a one as
Take
any.
one.
And you
Take
also
one, take
have a
one.
number of tools from the organization, just saying.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
they
That she's
gave
got
to
one
us.
of those knockout ball things.
Yeah,
Oh,
it'll be
good.
the knockout gas.
It's like, I'll go right, and then she starts make a lot of noise, I guess.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Gosh.
Hey, shitheads. Smiley boys. Jokers.
You need some orthodontistry.
The plan.
Stop.
You
Put
need
it
a lot
away.
of orthodontistry.
Smiley boys. I love it.
Give me I guess a sway roll, Eddie. No, I guess that's a sway
right.
roll in this game. So yeah, sway.
Sway.
Oh, what the heck? Where'd it go?
And the music starts to sway.
Sway.
Okay. Sway, the thing that I'm really, really good at.
So good. You're so good at sway, Eddie.
It's so great.
That's a big 2.
All right. You
It's a strong
immediately
2.
realize,
That's a
Eddie,
strong
that
2.
you are not verbally convincing them.
Sway.
Give me a focus roll, please.
Okay. I'm better at that. Also a 2.
Okay. Nim,
But when you multiply
give me a
them,
move roll, please.
you get 4.
High danger
think
on
that's
this
4.
one. I mean, all of this is pretty
When you
dangerous.
add
but,
them, you get 4. I think it's a sign.
yeah.
Just saying.
Ooh, I'm not good at move.
So if Abby also gets a 2, does that mean that they all sort of compound into a 6 for her?
No,
It's
I'll
just
just
6.
it'll just say I say
Yeah.
shout out to the 2 crew.
Pure
Move
math.
on.
2 crew. Oh, I was gonna say that too.
That's a 3.
Shout out
It's
to
a 3.
crew.
That's not
That's a 3.
strong. Do you have any resistances?
I'm not strong in move.
Do you have
I
any
have
resistances, Nim?
Resistances.
I do not think you do.
No.
No, you don't have a triangle.
I have no drives. I have no resistance.
All right.
I have no move.
As Eddie unsuccessfully tries to distract these
I am but a
from
small bird.
a moving bird, a
My
cutie
bones are so hollow.
patootie of a bird, as we've just recently had visualized for
My
us.
bones are so
internally.
hollow and so
bones
thin.
so hollow and thin. And as
They're
one of
so
the
light and porous.
unbeknownst to Nim, Nim, a dated commercial reference jingle of someone feeling like chicken tonight, plays
Oh,
in one of
Lord.
these Smilers' heads as they leap after you, Nim. I'm gonna need you to roll either a control or either a control or a read roll to help mitigate the amount of damage that may or may not come your way from this.
I'm going to go with read. And I'm going to use a drive.
What will?
I know there's some the whoever's in here is still in there. Like the people are still under.
Yeah,
like,
you can sense that they do have their like semblance of their personality still.
Oh,
if I
these
try
are
to
people.
if
Who
I
are
try to
here. I missed that. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I didn't know they got transformed.
Yeah. These are
into
not naturally.
smileys.
These are not natural.
Oh,
These are not like
They
a
weren't born this
species.
way.
right,
As Lady Gaga
they're
says.
infected with something or afflicted with something.
Mhm.
that's awful.
Corrupted by something.
All right. Last ditch effort. Can I try to commune with these things to try to get their attention a little bit better?
Oh, Lord.
Yes, and it will resolve before a negative consequence to Nim, but I'm curious about what Nim got on their
Okay.
I didn't roll.
read roll first, and then I have to
Sure.
think about what sort of decision has to be made by Eddie
Okay.
to be most effective here.
I'm gonna burn a drive so I can roll more than what I have for Reed. That is a 3 and a 4. So that would be a 4.
4 is good.
Yeah,
4 is good.
it is.
Better than a 3.
Eddie, you can
scared.
almost see this playing out. You
Mhm.
see that you're not distracting them well enough. One of them's kind of eyeballing you, but kind of indecisive. The other 2 are currently going for Nim.
Okay.
You see that Nim is not moving very effectively, and they're going to close it. And almost as if in vision, you can see these 2 smileys tackling Nim and immediately going to work on whatever parts of Nim that they can get into their horrible mouths.
My delectable little drumsticks.
But
I hate my brain.
because of that, you have a choice here,
You
Eddie.
keep that to yourself.
Eddie,
Abby.
you've already taken a little
yeah.
bit of bleed damage, correct?
Yes. Here's the other thing too is if I try to commune with them, I have to take a brain mark, and that's going to be my 3rd.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
yeah, you have to take a brain mark. If you
Ooh, you've
how,
been
how
racking
many
up brain
bleed do
for
you
that.
currently have?
1.
If you
I've got 1 bleed mark and 2 brain.
you know
It's gonna
that you
make
can
do.
maybe
Oh my god.
save Nim here, but you know that it will deeply impact you in a significant and incredibly painful way. What I'm saying mechanically is you're not going to have to roll for this. You can commune and you can burn bleed as well, and you can make this choice. The brain damage will happen. That's part of the mechanic.
Right.
If you want it to succeed without a roll and affect one of the 2 people that is going after Nim, which would then allow me to have Abby roll again to try and get out of this.
Oh, Lord.
One of the 2, then you take a bleed damage, but it's an automatic success. So the brain's up to 3, the bleed goes up from 1 to 2. If you want to affect both and ancillarily continue the indecisiveness of the 3rd, I will allow you to do that, but you got to take a body damage as well. You got to throw all of who you are into this to make this happen. This is you exhausting yourself across everything. You know this is going to affect you on a brain level. You've never tried to do this to such a degree to 3 things at the same time, to impact 3 things at the same time, and especially like basically pull the reins up of out of control horses. Just suddenly and with no concern for if they dislocate your shoulders on the journey of pulling it up. It is your choice. So on the one hand, you can just take the brain damage, do a little bit of a roll, and see if the dice will give you what you need. You could take the brain damage, take a bleed damage, definitely succeed with 1, take the brain damage, take the bleed damage, take a body damage as well, and basically fully succeed. But it will be incredibly tough at this point for you to make any other move much more after that.
The resistances allow me to re-roll. Is that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just going to take the brain.
Just take the brain. So you're still taking probably the most significant consequence of this, which is the thing going to 3. But you now have a bit of a chance. All right, give me a so describe what you are trying to do. Understand that a 6 on a die will get you your success. A 5 will get you the result I talked about where Abby gets to reroll. And a 4 or a 5 or a 4 will get you that. Anything below that, it doesn't work. You take the brain damage anyway, and it's a complete failure of you trying to pull this off.
So Eddie is going to is just sort of like looking at the 3 here. and noticing that they have split. I want to reach out and basically psychically send them the message of basically I want to lure them over here. So it's probably going to be something like, "Hey, I'm way tastier than that bird."
Mm-hmm. So just really a strong power of suggestion play here.
Yeah.
All right. Give me that.
Or if it's supposed to be a question, it's like, "Hey, why didn't you come follow me instead?"
All right. Give me your roll.
I'm going to burn my resistance. That's a 3.
Izzy, you're the only one positioned to see this right now because Kilo's distracted, Nim is distracted. Izzy, you watch Eddie. You feel something a little bit from Eddie, almost like pressure change in the air.
His Riatsu is changing.
And then you watch Eddie, eyes roll back in their head, and they just drop like a sack of potatoes on the ground where they're standing.
Oh my god.
And go unconscious. You can see they're breathing, but they go unconscious.
Okay. How well is... I just forgot her name.
Yancey.
Nim.
Yancey.
How is Yancey okay? Like,
Yancey's okay, but you're still in process of that. There's not been enough time. This all kind of, as you get Yancey to just the point where you're like, I think, as you line up the $sign to face outward, you're like, okay, I think I'm gonna be good here, but you're not quite at the point where you can move on the next action. Kilo.
The second I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. Kilo. You are going for the other Smiler that is currently going to kill those people. Do you pivot paths based off the fact that you catch that Nim is now in deep fucking trouble?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Oh
my God.
Give me a move roll, Kilo.
Oh, I'll move.
You don't need it's a 50-50. 4 and above, you're not like negatively impacted by this. 3 and below, you can decide how you do not succeed at that. But
okay. I got a 6.
Perfect. So what are you going to do, Kilo, to try and prevent 2 of these guys from just launching onto Nim's body?
So wait, they're already on top of Nim?
Not quite. They're closing. Like, essentially, if I was to map this out, if this was a square and Nim was on the right side of the square, you are in a diagonal path to the top right corner, or to the kind of like top sort of right half of the square. And so you just hook harder and you're behind these 2 that are now coming at Nim.
Or Orange pick a great clothesline.
So they're in between you and Nim, but Nim is on the other side of them. And so they're going toward Nim. You were running behind them to get to the other one that was challenging.
And so I pivoted,
NPCs.
and now I kind of have the jump on them a little bit.
You do. They have no idea that you're back there, or that you're like paying attention to them.
I think I'm so gross. I think what Kilo does is he stalks forward in these very determined, thunderous steps, and he intends to use his upper 2 hands to reach out and grab their necks, and his lower 2 arms around their torsos, and he wants to crush them against his own body until their spines snap.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
I need you
the
to
hug
give
of
me
no
a
return.
strike roll for this.
That's
Drug of
hot.
no return.
There are
That's
pretty
hot.
negative
Metal.
consequences if you really screw it up, and there's still negative.
Hot.
There's arguably, unless you get a 6,
Julia, you and I are the
there's
same
some negative
person.
consequence to this due to the nature of these creatures. But
The most
I'm gonna
brutal
burn-
thing.
I'm gonna burn
Hot.
two
I'm so good at
drives.
hugging.
You can do that to me too, Kilo.
100%.
do that
I have
to
never once
me.
seen I have never once seen
Damn.
my
Oh my
spine in my
God.
entire life.
That's
Okay,
the most
oh my
romantic
God.
thing I've ever
Oh my God.
I've ever
Everybody-
heard.
They
Everybody
called
get
him the
water, okay?
backbreaker in college.
Lord.
Lord. I have a 6.
Oh, God.
We've got 1 6.
You got a 6.
Hell yeah.
Holy.
1 6.
It's the backbreaker.
You're never living that down, I hope you realize.
Shut up. I did it.
That's going to carry on forever.
Listen,
Hit it with the backbreaker.
Okay.
they're messing
They
with
call
my
me-
people.
They
Peel it back,
call me
break
the
And I
it,
don't
Rick
have
Allen.
I don't
backbreaker.
same context that Eddie does. To me, these are just monsters trying to.
Yeah,
Right.
as they should.
Kilo to kilo.
So, because of that, you only take the least amount of damage you could take by pulling people that are mostly teeth into your body. So you only take 1 body mark,
Okay.
but something that you can easily
One
address.
bod. Okay.
As Nim, you get a little bit of their spittle on
I
you
get a drive back.
before they grab, before
little
you see
spittle.
them suddenly vault back into Kilo's form. And you, how does Nim feel about watching Kilo literally squeezing the life out of 2 creatures at the same time as they
Breaking
begin
their
chewing
back.
on? I'm going to describe this incredibly graphic. A warning here.
Okay.
As Kilo
I'm ready.
grabs
Did this.
their necks and their torsos
I'm
and
buckled in.
pulls them in, the only recourse for these creatures that live in a space of only hunger and consumption is to turn on whatever part of their captor they can get their greedy mouths upon. And so, because of the way this lines up, we watch the scene that you get to have front row seats to right at the edge of the stage
In the
is
splash
watching two creatures choking and gnawing and growling and gasping at the chest of Kilo like a distortion of mammalian motherhood from a reptile to 2 monstrous creatures, where they begin tearing at his pectorals, since that is where they
Oh,
live.
wait.
Curse my vivid
I wasn't
imagination.
even. So
Oh.
we had a different
Mental picture.
approach. I pictured that like my hands coming around the front of their necks and pulling them in like this.
And they
Yeah.
have they you do,
Just
but
twisted in my arms.
they've twisted around in your arms. These
Okay,
are
all right,
incredibly
we're more
hard
same
things to
picture then. Good.
contain.
They're going in
so-
at both layers
so-
of pectorals.
As
Yes.
as these
No,
2
just
cursed
one.
babes,
You need the muscle to have the other arms.
yeah, as these 2 cursed babes
Cursed
The
babes.
major and the minor pectorals. The major and minor.
get or will inevitably sup at their last meal on Kilo's flesh and blood. To protect you,
Hot.
Nim, you feel that some of their spittle
Like,
got
Jesus.
upon your
Julie, go get a glass
got
of
upon
water.
your feathers. But you, in this moment,
This is so important and so scary,
safe.
but
Sorry.
I'm cracking.
I know
I'm gonna
it's so
mute.
You just hear hot.
good. You should not. You should never mute. You should never mute.
Do not mute. Do not mute.
Never
This is
mute.
gold. What are you
This
talking
is
about?
so good. I am not a
Someone-
It's
GM.
hot.
I
don't
am
know.
never a GM that tries to set a tone, and gets upset when players are like, I'm not going to join you on that tone.
You're like, they're reaching for air on Kilo's chest. I'm like,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It
is-
on
That's
his
so
It's
chest.
hot.
gruesome and
Valid.
it's hot. Those can exist at the same time. It's an entire genre. It's and subgenre and subgenres of
that's
subgenres.
true.
But
Wasn't that the Corpse Daddy song?
I'm
you
gonna
know?
get more scars from this too.
you are.
Choke me like you hate me, but you
Yeah.
love me.
Yep.
Not that I know
that-
this song.
That like
Um,
It's
Choke
Not that I'm aware.
Yeah,
not that I'm deeply.
Not that.
I don't subscribe to any publications or.
Not that I miss him every
a fight
day.
on my
That
on my
voice.
computer
Anyway.
that no one knows but me.
I definitely read that.
But
Oh my gosh.
we're actually going to cut away from that gruesome scene. Give Nim a little
That's
bit of a
gruesome.
moment to think about what they're going to do.
sorry.
Give Izzy a moment to think about what they're going to
It's
do.
so good.
And we're going to cut to Tery.
So good.
Tery, you are tucked behind what's
Tery.
essentially a privacy fence. In front of these next to each other townhouses, kitty corner from this place. Unbeknownst that you're currently being watched. Does Tery stick around? What's Terry's sort of I'm hidden and I'm pretty confident no one can see me modus operandi here? I know you're being overwhelmed. Your emotional chip is fried, so you are not being regulated. What is
He's
Tery doing?
absolutely crying, sobbing.
Just fully crying. Amazing.
Yeah.
Baby.
And he cries very ugly, like.
As you
Ugly
should. Proper
crying.
ugly tears. That's the only way to heal.
Yeah. It's a
Tery,
weird-
The
Give
uglier
me
you cry,
a-
the more you heal.
Give me a survey roll, please.
Survey. By the way, I have no marks. Terry's so good. I
As
have
you shouldn't.
disadvantage.
You're the
Eddie's
dra-
getting beaten the fuck up.
Yeah.
Poor man. He needs a fucking nap.
Poor man. It's a
Nap
4.
and a sandwich. This
I have
poor man.
disadvantage.
Eventually, in your tears, as a person that is built on the instinct of being seen and perceived, in order for you to exist, you notice that there's a bit of a sound, and someone is watching you. Not the person that's watching you at a deep distance. There's no way you could clock that person. But actually, from the doorway of the nearest townhouse to where you're standing, there is, I'm going to say, a 12-year-old that's just opened the door when they heard someone sobbing. And they're looking at the bespectacled, fedoraed, scarved, sobbing form of your master disguise for not getting mobbed in public. And you clock this little, like, blue alien with 2 little front antennas and white hair, very like Andorian, Star Trek inspired, like just like little preteen, kind of sitting there eating some sort of fruit, looking at you quizzically. Can I help you?
I don't look cool right now, right?
You do not
Terry
look
doesn't
cool.
look cool. Okay. I think he's gonna worry about that too. So he's gonna. So I'm gonna. Terry's gonna turn. Eyes puff, but like laughing. Hello.
Oh my god. Doing all the old razzle dazzle with just tears.
Buddy. Hi, buddy.
I don't care what you have in the stat. Give me a sway roll with disadvantage.
No, don't do that.
You're going from sobbing to fake.
My sway, I have 2.
Yeah,
so
no.
what do I do?
You roll 2 and you take the lower one. You've created a
Okay.
scenario where this is an incredibly impossible sell.
It's a 1.
It's a 1.
Oh
Fantastic.
no.
I
A
love
more
this.
perceptive Tery would notice that this child does not believe you, but this child is old enough to not,
Recognize an adult man crying.
to recognize
what
an
sobbing
adult
sounds like.
crying, and old enough to also recognize what you're immediately doing. Do you need to come inside? Do you need help?
Do you have milk?
Yeah.
I would love a cup of milk.
Yeah, we've got a cup of milk. I can get you some milk.
Okay.
I need.
I will follow the boy.
As they begin to walk in and you walk toward the door, Tery, I need you to roll move roll for me, please. Just don't
Move
get a
roll.
1. Burn whatever you need. If you have drives, just don't get a 1.
Okay, I have drives. I'm gonna.
If you get a 1, the
Um,
consequences are medium severe. They won't be dire, but like it will suck. So just try to avoid
Okay.
getting a 1 or 2 1s or whatever.
Okay. 3.
Tery, you go to follow this child in, sobbing. The child turns, walks back into the house, and they leave the door open for you, which of course swings outward because it's an exterior door. And you see it happen, and then you hear it. You see the door suddenly wham shut, like it had been
Shit.
slammed shut from your side of things, from the outside. And then you hear the sound of the gunshot. And when I say gunshot, I'm not saying super future pulse rifle or anything. I'm saying military grade combustion projectile high caliber firing shot.
Straight up blow.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
straight up blow. And you immediately
Lord.
clock that there is a large divot in the door where something hit it with great force and impact, and it has been slammed in front of you, and or it has been slammed in front of you and is clearly damaged. This is not a wood door, this is a metal door. It has been impacted by this like
Oof.
like a suit of armor by a cannonball.
Oof.
Okay.
Oof.
First of all, when he gets jump scared and he screams like a little girl,
Yeah, of course.
Correct.
Yeah.
and then, oh my god, I think I put the kid in front of me.
Kid's inside. You
My
can't get to that
gosh.
kid, thank God.
Oh shit!
Kid's safely inside the house. You are
Oh
suddenly
my
less
God.
safely
Is a
outside of the house.
perfect character.
Tery is a perfect
Okay.
character.
Tery
The
is so
child!
sweet.
The child.
Do I see milk?
No, the kid just went inside. This just happened. Like he was just turning
This
inside
is
to
so
go
fresh.
inside, and the door was slammed before you could follow him in by this gunshot.
Oh my
I gotta
gosh.
find someone to protect me, or I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm gonna have to go find my friends. Shit. Okay.
Do you work your way back toward the Vox box?
I wanted milk. I wanted to chug milk and then
Can't.
go.
You can't.
There's
There's
no
no milk to be
chug
had.
anymore.
Ah.
Just a shot of
So I
milk.
think
I
I
can't even
just
cry on it because it's not even
I
spilled.
boat towards I'm gonna go towards Kilo because he's the
Okay,
biggest.
so you know
So
where
he can cover my whole body. Yeah.
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 So
You definitely won't be traumatized by what you see at this point in time. Come find me.
Yeah.
as Tery makes their move back into the Vox box,
I love there's a gunshot and he goes, I gotta get out.
Eddie,
Gotta get out.
Where's the big?
Before
know
I
where.
boat, I put
Where's
the
the
fedora and the scarf to try to make it harder for
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
think that the
He's
disguise
trying to
hides you
kill
from
me.
bullets?
No
Yeah,
one ever
it's-
spot me now.
It's probably a fan. I heard this happen to I don't know, like an
Pokeball.
actress. Yeah, at some point. So it's probably a stalker or a fan. So
You heard that the uncryogenically frozen body of Dame Jennifer Love Hewitt had this very same
Lord.
problem.
it's famous people. Like it's the cross-eyed bear.
Yeah, it's the cross you bear.
Ugh,
The cross you bear.
Eddie,
for
Yes.
you
My headache
are
from laughing so much already.
unconscious.
Oh.
You are not physically conscious of the work. Per the mechanics of the game, when you take 3 marks in any given category, you become incapacitated for the rest
Sure.
of the combat. Per any good
Uh-huh.
GM, you don't just let someone sit in death saves and do nothing while other people
course.
get to continue on the thing. Eddie, what do you think is an extremely peaceful memory of Eddie's that is like the brain desperately trying to hold on to anything good in this very, very bad moment. If Eddie had to dream of something, what would Eddie dream of that was positive?
That's a really good question.
Noodle it.
Um,
If you need some time, we can pivot over to the conscious people inside. That's why I wanted to float it at this time.
It would be a moment of so Eddie is the oldest of his siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And while a lot of other people would not have believed this to be a particularly peaceful moment, it's considerably more peaceful than a lot of the rest of life Eddie has led. Being at home, he's a kid, but he's still sort of in charge of keeping an eye on his siblings, like as them being younger kids. Like listening to them play in the other room while he stirs a pot of he's tall enough to reach the stove, so he's stirring a pot of macaroni and cheese
Mm-hmm.
that he's cooking up for dinner for his siblings. And it's before things got really bad. So it's not exactly what anyone's picture of, luxury or comfort or peace would necessarily be, but for him that's what it is.
Eddie, can I have you roll me a sense check, please?
Sense check. Okay. What do I do? There it is. Oh my god, the dice hate me tonight.
Oh no.
That's snake
Uh-oh.
eyes.
Oof.
Dang.
Jeez.
We're rolling so bad today, folks.
Eddie,
I know we joked about, having people die in, in this session.
I did joke about
And
that.
and
Steve,
I draw stuff.
Don't worry.
she just
Can't.
made this.
Don't worry. Don't
It's
worry.
very
much art.
rude.
Nobody's dying here.
of
It just
you.
gets sadder.
That
To
was
immediately.
rude.
Oh,
That
no.
was
I mean,
pretty
Izzy's been
fucking
doing pretty well.
rude.
no one's gonna die. There's so many fates worse than death.
So
You
Eddie,
could become a smiler. You could become a myconoid, cybernetic zombie.
yeah, Eddie, you
There's
are
a lot of worse things.
you are living in just a gentle domestic moment.
Yeah.
And you hear your siblings playing, you're stirring, and it's like you leave the scene and are watching it now.
Mm-hmm.
And a particularly morose looking young man that is more pale than you, and maybe at first seems like a haunting horror dream, because they do not look like blood or life fluid, whatever they need to survive. They look human though, so blood kind of pumps through their veins. Goes and hands you a vape, and has one themselves, and takes a hit off of it, and being like, I remember when you used to make those for me. You do not recognize this man. He's a roughly, man is a exaggeration. He could be anywhere between the age of like 16 and maybe 20. So like older teenager.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when you used to make those for me and mom. and my and my little brother. Never seen this person before.
Do I know you?
Sort of. Trying to connect. It's real hard, especially when you give your things away to myconoid cybernetic zombies and the various utility shafts of Velis. I can't hit you up on that very easily. Gesturing to the, now you're in your current clothes and you've got that burner phone that you bought.
Wait, are you the mysterious asshole?
I should change my handle to that. Yeah, you could call me that. How you doing?
I don't know. What's going on?
Well, you got knocked yourself unconscious.
Where am I? Where are we?
Well, I'm in your head. Which it's good to know that I can still be there. And that means you're probably not going to die. But you, right now, are, depending on how things go, in a lot of trouble if you're surrounded. The bitey guys that eat, that's what you're dealing with right now?
Yeah, we were just calling them Smilers, I think.
It's a good name. I don't think it's the right time for this. I think we really need some time. I don't want to put things on you. But it's good to know that when you were a kid, you were the same. And that even though you're not the same yet, you will be. And then they take just the most dramatic, like, professional vape rip and blow just the thickest cotton into your face to haze it out haze it out in a little bit of a fog.
Not the same yet. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Stinks.
Asshole. That's right. And we're gonna cut from Eddie's mind thoughts over to Nim and Izzy. Actually, we're gonna cut specifically to Izzy. Izzy, enough time has passed. Currently, Kilo is nursing two very upsetting smilers to quite literally to death. With their strong embrace. There's one that's sort of indecisive, not sure what it's gonna do. There's another one that is currently ripping a cocktail table away from two random patrons that have been hiding behind it, that is about to attack them in a way that you cannot prevent that from happening. They are about to get chewed on. And then there seems to be maybe one behind the bar working on the bartender. Little bartender barbecue, if you will. Extra blue on the meat. And everything. Yancey is stabilized. Yancey, you have now done everything you need to do to make sure that this NPC does not die.
I want to hide Yancey in some form or fashion if I can.
You not only hide Yancey, but now that they're stabilized, they return to being a feline-based creature, which means that they also are good at hiding. So that is not your action, but that does successfully occur.
You got a bartender.
So you got a bartender that's probably
Kilo's
dead.
already there.
Kilo's got two, and there's one more. There's one more that's not really engaging with anyone, and one more that's just sinking their teeth into one of these two kind of random NPC bar patrons, karaoke bar patrons.
What?
So there's no way I can get to the bar patrons.
You can get to them in the way that you can prevent it from continuing, but the damage will have begun. But you did just save Yancey from what is very much a mortal wound.
Wait, I have an idea.
Okay?
Okay.
Using my sports knowledge in
haven't.
general, it's safe to say I've thrown things before with precision.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
In force.
Yes.
Something's flying towards those two.
All right. All
What are you
right.
chucking?
Yeah.
What's nearby?
Various small tables or small little cocktail tables, chairs, dead bodies.
Well, if
Dead
Yancey's
body.
already hidden and is not using that cocktail table, there's going to be one flying at them.
All right, give me a
The whole table.
strike roll for this.
A what roll?
Strike.
Strike.
Look at this
That's my
giant
forte.
cat. Baby.
Because this
I'm
is
going to burn it down because I really want to
yeah,
save
this is less an act of accuracy. You can
Get
hit
'em.
you can hit things with a whole table. That's not hard. It's how hard can you throw it.
I want to throw the crap out. 6.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so
I had 2 5s, so I was kind of good, but I had a spinner.
6.
Get him. Get him, Eddie.
I just discus throw this fucking table toward.
Eddie or Izzy.
Izzy.
As you describe a discus throw, another sport that you were relatively fond of but has just never been popular on Velis is a sport that is maybe the oldest sport known to modern society, which is disc golf.
My coworker does that on Thursdays.
Yeah, disc golf.
He's a dweeb.
There's a few sports that are from the way long time ago that are timeless, like kickbag, and disc golf, and a sport that you never quite got your mind around exactly how it works, but there's a stick and a hoop and you chase it. It's unclear. But these are the things that have survived to the 20th century. In
Travis
sport form.
Dunbar, you can kick the can if you recall.
Yeah, you can kick the
Sometimes you gotta
can.
kick the can.
You
Yeah.
just kick it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Travis. My
And
heart, my
so
soul.
disc
Travis.
sport
My
or
shining
disc
star
golf
tonight.
powers activate. You know that you need a bank shot. Number one, because not that you're keeping score, but Kilo is looking like they're about to put point number 2 and 3 on the board, and so far you have 0 points on the board on these smileys. And so with the well practiced geometry and physics that you learned in disc golf, you take this cocktail and put a perfect vertical spiral on it like a frisbee and have it bank shot off the one that's a little listless into the back head of the other one. Now, because you rolled a 6, you do not injure the 2 people in front of it. One of them gets scraped up a little because it kind of falls forward into them and they get a little bit of the teeth, but not like a bite so much as like a graze. So it scrapes up their forearms, but it also creates a window for them to get the fuck out of Dodge. And boy, do you watch them immediately burst out of that zone, great off the line speed, and
Like
right out
marathon
that
runners.
fucking door. Right out
Who
that
says disc golf is dead?
yeah.
Yes.
Everyone but you.
You used to play on the only or on one of the 2 teams, the only 2 professional disc golf teams on Velis.
Disc golf is not dead. Disc golf is life.
But you managed to save yet another 2 people while knocking them out. Now, they are knocked down. One of them is probably unconscious, the one that was kind of listless and wasn't really paying super focused attention. But the other one that you just knocked down, you heard him, but he's still up and he turns and looks, or he's still conscious, and he turns and he looks at you, and he begins to crouch down onto kind of all fours in a way that is not preternatural. He's not transforming. he's just doing that really stupid, like, I'm gonna train myself physically by learning how to run around on all fours, but I'm a
I have
bipedal
never
creature.
wished that Izzy had like the frilled lizard frills right now
Yeah.
more than ever.
Sky.
That's such
They
a
just
mood.
pop out. Izzy,
Man.
he's about to come for you. Do you just directly engage him, or are you
3
planning to
points,
do something
ready
else?
to charge right back. Like,
Nim,
That's
as
me.
Izzy and this other person that they just winged with a cocktail table did that, you now see that Eddie is unconscious and twitching on the ground. Kilo is crushing the life out of two of these smileys.
For my friends,
For your friends.
for the sake of friendship and their
Also-
ongoing
And
lives.
it's a little bit hot.
I
And
was
it's a little bit hot.
winging a table at you at a cocktail bar.
What does Nim do in this scenario? Because you have your sleep grenades. You can hear that
Yes.
someone's behind the bar having a nice, like, dinner time meal of someone else behind the bar, and not in the sexy way.
Right.
And everything. But and you can also see, like I said, you can see that Eddie is unconscious and sort of twitching on the ground. What does Nim do here?
Oh yeah. Her first thought is just like watching this happening with Kilo and going around. First thought is Kilo's getting hurt. He's getting hurt. He's getting hurt. He's getting hurt. Looks at Eddie. Eddie's getting hurt. Eddie's getting hurt. Eddie's hurt. Everyone's getting hurt.
like, looks over at Izzy. Izzy's hurting. Nice.
Izzy's
Hurting.
relatively fine.
It's like, oh no, people are getting hurt. People are getting hurt.
We'll
I'm
find
not
out
a
what this
doctor.
next
I
is.
was never trained to be a doctor. I think I discovered cat hair. My apologies. He's a very fluffy boy.
The cutest boy.
I think her brain would go to chucking one of the knockout pods behind the one counter where the snacker is snacking, and then to run over to stand kind of like not like over Eddie, but be like, okay, he's unconscious. Somebody has to stand guard.
Yeah,
I'm
zone
not good at
defense
this, but
around
somebody has to
Eddie's
stand guard.
unconscious body.
Snacker, no snacking.
It's like she wasn't a party girl, but there's the general thing of like, oh, your friend's passed out on the ground. You got to make sure that nothing happens to her.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
100%.
Like, Eddie's
100%.
down.
It's just good
Chuck
party.
it towards one person
None of us
because
left
that's not a
behind.
good time, and then go to stand over Eddie. Like, okay, nothing can get close to Eddie. Eddie cannot protect himself.
I need you to roll a control roll to nail this knockout ball into the behind the bar. Anything above a 3 will succeed. 2 or a 3 won't be disastrous. If you roll a 1, that's bad.
I mean, a 1 is a 1, so like, you know. Okay.
It's not disastrous, but it's bad. 5.
That's the best I've rolled so far. 5.
You successfully toss this little knockout gas grenade back to the back behind.
She does it in the very girl way. Definitely, it's like there's freaking Eddie, not Eddie, freaking Izzy over there, just full on athletic superstar. There's Kilo, muscle bound maniac, and then there's Nim just
full
the weakest overhand, and then running.
No.
It's like stop.
I need you to roll a survey roll when you get close to Eddie, and I am going to be right back. I desperately need to use the little boys room.
You bio, it's okay.
While that's happening, I do the same.
Bio, breaks.
I do not use the boys' room.
Use whatever room you want.
Why?
Well, it seems the boys' room is full right now, so I'm going to stay right here.
Yeah. Good choice.
There's only so many occupancies. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm trying to figure out. So my Armor Aster Advent game is wrapping up soon.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to
I
figure
don't
out
want
what
it
game.
to end to a degree. It's like we're having a good time.
Yeah.
We're having a good time.
But I'm trying to figure out what game I want
the
to
next one?
run next.
Yeah.
I have it narrowed down to 3. I would like to do superhero game. I miss doing superhero games.
I do love
That sounds
I
so
miss our
cool.
superhero game.
Immediately.
It was so fun. Oh my gosh, Julia. It was so fun.
I also like. I also
It's so
have
nerdy.
I also have the Doctor Who RPG that I haven't had a chance to play yet,
Yeah, you mentioned that.
and I want to give that one a shot. See how
That
it
one
goes.
I know nothing about. Doctor Who.
Time
But
travel. That is the big thing.
which is
I
cool
will be
too.
a Dalek.
A
That's it.
Dalek
You have to deal with that voice the entire game.
extra.
Okay, I would so do it. Ah,
The Doctor.
Cybermen are superior at only one thing.
That's it.
Dying. Ha, ha.
Me and Abby,
Ah.
Dalek and a Cyberman. That's it.
not
The
EXE.
the only other the other one I got a couple of high fantasy games from while I was at PAX East. I got Emberwind and Mythcraft.
I'm
And
not
I
familiar with either of those.
would like to
Me
give them
neither.
a shot. So Emberwind is a game developed by Nomnivore Games. They
Very fun.
actually
Very fun
develop
name.
games very specifically for people with like ADHD and dyslexia and like other sort of like learning disabilities. To make it like easier and better for people that
Very intuitive play style in that way.
yeah, and it's also entirely modular. So like
Oh,
you
nice.
can
Modular.
you can use what rules you want to use. Like each individual player can use what rules they want to use.
Oh, for
And-
what works best for their brain.
exactly.
Oh.
And it even has rules to
Nifty.
let the monsters kind of run themselves. Like rather than trying to, even as a GM, if you like, you don't have to say like, okay, what would this monster do in this moment? You can just kind of roll a die and says it
That's
moves in this
cool.
direction, and when it gets there, it does this action, kind of thing.
Oh, almost
That's
like
cool.
autopiloting them to a degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice.
Random autopilot.
But the other one is Mythcraft, which I haven't looked into it too deeply at this point. But the people at the booth at PAX basically described it as, in terms of crunch, midway between Pathfinder and D&D. So it's also a classless system. So basically there are there's talent trees basically, like assigned to like archetypes like druid or oathbreaker or shaman or whatever. And you can sort of like build from that tree to sort of build your own custom archetype of character.
Very nice.
Ooh-ah.
But we return.
Ooh-la-la.
What did you get on your roll?
Excuse
Your
me.
I
survey
waited to roll until you were back, so I wasn't
Very
just
nice.
sitting there with the number going, oh my gosh, and that was too scary to just sit there with the
Good
number, so I
choice.
had to wait.
That's fair.
Okay. For survey, I got a 6 and a 1, so 6 wins with my survey.
Ooh, very nice.
Very, very polarizing numbers.
Yeah, that's heaven and
Thank
hell.
goodness for 2.
You hear
Excuse me.
a voice sort of casually talking,
Oh gosh.
just ever so gently, like it's in another room or something, even though there's all this noise that's happening. And it feels like it's coming from Eddie, but it's brief and it dissipates. But more importantly, you hear another voice, and this one with a 6 is below you, a floor below you, and it is yelling for help.
Fuck. Does it sound masculine? Does it sound feminine? Does it sound young, old?
You
Is
rolled
there
a
anything that
6,
you able to pick up from
and
it?
you rolled a 6 and everything.
I hate
You've heard this
I did
voice
roll a 6.
before.
Oh fuck.
It's a voice that you
Oh,
haven't heard
God.
directly speak, but you heard a holographic projection of it
Mhm.
speak early on. Alexander. It sounds like Alexander.
Mhm.
And they sound like they're beneath you yelling. In a basement, maybe, of some kind?
Mhm.
Like thunder.
Is it like help? I'm down here. Or is like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Like, kind of level is it?
It's just the word help, kind of. So, like help, somebody help me, help.
Okay. Is it like a panicked one, or is it more just like I need somebody to get attention? 'cause I
Alerting.
happen to be here.
Very alerting. Yeah, like not
Okay.
panicky. Very much like
Okay.
like you would yell if you were like locked in a thing.
Right. You get locked in a closet. Help.
Like you just hear a bunch of noise. So if someone's out there, let me be loud enough to be heard.
Right. Like there's people like, I know there's people. Open the door. Please
And this
help.
might be one of the times I wonder. I mean, obviously, this is knowledge we have above table, but I wonder, like, we knew that these two were possibly, you know, connected, but because we've drawn them, or maybe since they've all come up here, Alexander may be unattended.
That's what. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If
Awesome.
he's not panicked, but he's yelling, that's you would hope.
Yeah.
Oh, he was tied up too. I
Yeah.
remember.
He's tied up. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh. That's
Oh
what
my
Nim
God.
says. He's tied up. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Terry.
In that exact voice.
Terry's going, oh my gosh.
Terry.
Oh my gosh.
Right about now is when you come in the side door that you know Kilo would have come in. You, as you approach the side of this building, you can see beyond the side door, still in the alleyway, two unconscious Smilers face down from Nim's earlier sleeping gas.
You just walk
Harmless.
up on these things.
But ugly and scary.
But ugly and
Very
scary.
ugly, very scary.
And you can hear, you know that Kilo and Izzy and Eddie and Nim are almost certainly fully inside this building, and you see the door that they would have gone through. Does Terry enter the building fully?
Is there another gunshot by my boating to here? No.
No.
Don't want him to come in. Not gonna be good.
They're gonna kill me for
Just
the
so much
man.
blood, so much gore.
Oh no.
I go.
No.
There is a sharpshooter outside.
As
It's not really.
Yeah, before I
safe.
go in,
yeah,
I kick very pathetically one of the buttons before I
Oh,
go
God.
Take that.
in. Take it. And then I go in.
uh,
I'm trying to feel a little stronger.
amazing,
And then wake up.
Yeah.
amazing.
Gotta hype up. Gotta hype up.
Yeah.
So Terry, you open the
I
door,
can do this.
which just as
can do it.
Kilo turns, sensing the door opening as you're finishing off these two bodies, they go unconscious. And Terry, you get a nice frame shot of Kilo dropping two bodies out of
Just
his
pureed.
arms, dropping two of these Smilers out of his arms, them detaching from his chest, and Kilo's clothing and our clothing has been kind of chewed away, and you can see basically that they've got essentially full teeth marks into their chest that they're lightly bleeding
make
from.
it. You knew what you were doing when you phrased it like that.
So his clothes are a bit teared up.
Yeah. He's exposed. He's
Looking
exposed
like an
and
action
damaged.
hero, glamour shot.
I think we might get an updated
Very
sketch of
POV. Like really. What music
Okay.
does Terry hear right now?
And no. As
Ooh.
horny as he is, I don't think he's too panicked.
Yeah,
Someone
no.
tried to
Yeah.
shoot him.
No,
That's just
You didn't
Julia.
even get your milk.
Getting
Poor
the
thing.
character. Okay, I think he's gonna run to Kilo and ignore this, not because it's not scary, but because he's so focused on himself that he doesn't notice this for maybe in a little bit, but now
Yeah.
his focus is, and then he goes straight behind Kilo, and then he's like, "Did someone shoot you? They're trying to kill me. Someone is shooting at me." Just because I'm famous.
Terry.
This level of delusion is so delightful.
Terry,
It's
I
so
can't really
delicious.
stop to
Terry's
talk about
trying-
this right now.
Terry's trying not to cry. He's like, Someone's shooting at me. I need you to stay in front of me.
Well, who's shooting at you?
I don't know. Someone
You
who
didn't
like
even say him.
blew
What,
a
like
whole
a sniper from a
door.
distance?
A sniper. Yeah, that's probably it.
While you two
It's
are
a
having this
crazy fan.
conversation,
It's not a conversation. This is such a brief exchange because we have no time to talk.
well, you two are having this little brief exchange. Can I have, who do I want to pit against each other? Kelly, give me a D6 roll give me 2D6 roll, please. And
You
tell me the
got
results.
bit. Is that it?
Nah.
I hope not. Okay.
Me.
I'm
All
watching
right,
too
I got-
much. Last of Us.
You said a 2d6?
Yeah.
I got a 4 and a 1.
4 and a 1. All right. Izzy, give me I'm gonna call this. You get to choose, but it's definitely move, strike, or control. As you and this last smiler that's conscious move into a full a full scrimmage line, like hard
Oh, this is
impact with
definitely
each
gonna be
other. You have
strike.
to beat a 4. So you need a 5 or a 6 to. If you get a 4, it's a push. If you get below a 4, it's bad for you. But whatever you want to pick, 4 is the number that you're looking to beat.
I'm gonna use another. I'm low on drive. Wait, what do resistances do again?
Resistances allow you to re-roll the result of something if you do not like it. So
Okay.
they're
Ooh, I have
kind of
2
like a
resistances
drive.
in this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll my die. I am on fire tonight. A 2, a 4, and a 6.
6, baby.
Oh,
Baby.
that 2 made me clench up.
Now,
That's valid.
because you are getting in melee range of one of these, and it is not surprise, you do take 1 body mark just by being in range of its mouth. It manages to get this, but describe what Izzy does to stop this smiler from being a threat any longer. As you both kind of crash into each other.
Oh, okay. So like when you see football trainers push the sled,
Yeah?
it's pretty much pick up, keep going into a wall. Bam.
All of you can hear the rib cage of this creature absolutely collapse as Izzy Goodenough goes all
Yes,
out
he is.
on this form tackle. Years of sports,
Can he?
Years
of athletic
Yes,
training
he can.
means you know how to center yourself.
Sports! Crush your enemies!
And
You aren't good enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
when the sternum of this creature cracks and
Oof.
remnants of its ribs shove into its organs as Izzy sort of Capri Suns it against the wall.
Gross. Goodness.
Oh wow.
Just
Oh.
crushing
We've
it
gone full
fully.
Gallagher.
Oh golly.
Yeah, crushing it
Good
fully.
golly gracious.
With another being unconscious behind the bar and another being unconscious here with Kilo having handled all the remaining smilers, all the other smilers. For a moment, Izzy, you don't notice this exactly as quickly as others because you're busy polishing off
Victory dancing. Yeah.
this thing. Yeah. You're busy crinkle folding this smiler. But Tery, Kilo, and Nim all notice that the room goes oddly quiet.
Oh no.
Because there's no commotion.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, Will, give me a terrible song that somebody was singing at karaoke when all this popped off.
Lord.
Tub thumping.
Yeah. So I
What?
get knocked down,
Knocked
but I
down,
get up
but I get
again.
up again.
You
They
ain't
don't
never
get back
gonna
up.
keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. It's sort of quietly playing on a broken speaker in the background, but it's mixed. All of you are right here. Eddie, after you come out of your haze of vape smoke that smells like blueberry cotton candy, blue raspberry cotton candy to be exact.
Yeah.
I believe that over a blueberry.
Yeah, blue raspberry cotton candy to be more accurate. After you begin to kind of drift into a little bit of consciousness, you can see Nim kind of standing, hovering, kind of around you. You definitely know that you're in danger, but your body will not easily respond. Your legs and fingers and hands are on fire in the way that right as the blood vessels get to return blood after a long period of time with your legs fully asleep, your arms fully asleep,
Ooh.
it
Yep.
hurts from the inside so much. And you are struggling to even move effectively. But you are conscious and breathing. Eddie, give me a focus roll.
Scary.
3.
Kilo,
The dice hate me tonight.
they do hate
That's
you
all there is to
tonight.
it.
Yeah, Kilo, you are. We're like eyes out looking for threats now that you also have a Tery around you
Yeah.
trying to explain.
A
Also,
weeping
there's a
Tery.
gun.
You have Courage the Cowardly Dog around your leg.
I think he's like, it's just not that he's not used to it, but it's a brief moment of overstimulation because the vibe that Tery has carried in here is so completely like
Very
far from the energy we've established in this studio. And so he's just trying to reconcile the two of, yes, I just had rows and rows of teeth buried in my chest and my friends are beat the shit out of and Terry's being shot at? What? It's like it's just crazy.
And now,
It's because I'm famous.
But I am scanning, trying to listen to Tery, but take in my immediate surroundings.
you know that there are currently 2 unconscious Smilers. There are 4 dead ones and 2 unconscious ones in here.
Mhm.
So you know those exist. You can see
Yes.
that. You can see that Eddie's on the ground, but he's beginning to kind of rouse from whatever happened. Happened. Tery is here talking about being shot at. Izzy is as covered as you in viscera and blood of these creatures. And Nim seems to be
allegations.
actually pretty hale and hearty by comparison to the amount of
yeah.
danger that they were in.
Head just cocks as she's listening to
Just
Alexander
shaking
Davis.
like
Just-
hell.
That was the goal.
What would Kilo do in this moment, knowing that being like as
My bones are
certain
so
as
hollow.
Kilo could be in a scenario like this, that like the
My
conflict
bones.
is immediately
My
in the
bones.
moment resolved.
My drumsticks.
I'm sorry, Steve, say that one more time. I was just thinking about how I was happy
apologize.
we saved Nim. And I got lost for a
Yeah, that's
second.
fair.
Can you
My
say that one more
apologies.
time?
What does Kilo do in this moment? You're roughly not as sure as you can be that like
Yeah.
there's no one else but your squad moving around in here. And everything, and that all the threats seem to have been eliminated and or stalled for the moment.
I'm
What's
with you.
Kilo's next action?
Kilo does what he normally would have done on any battlefield. He assesses the injuries and the wounded and sees what needs treatment, who can stand. So he's probably going to immediately report to Eddie. Because Eddie's on the ground. Well, how does Izzy look?
Izzy looks fine.
Izzy looks fine.
Yeah.
Izzy's literally
Okay.
bigger. Wow.
Izzy's the
All right.
Glitch has
You know,
been the
Eddie's
Eddie's
opposite of
over in the
Will
corner
tonight.
just
Izzy's
pumped
been
as hell.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he
I'm
seems
afraid
fine.
to know our
Um,
next roll,
I think
our next episode, because I'm gonna roll like shit the next episode.
I think Kilo kind of claps his hands together. Is like, Izzy, med kit, toss. Go the med kit.
Is
to
there
me,
any
whatever.
med kit left after?
yeah, there's med kit left.
Well, I would hope it's like a whole kit.
It's not
and
not
like
a,
there's more than
it's
just
not a
a
single use
singular piece
item.
of tape and gauze.
It's
All right,
one
so-
baby
Copper
aspirin.
kit. Where's the Neosporin?
So
Where's the
he takes that and
Neosporin?
he goes to check on Eddie.
Kilo, give me oh, go on.
Quick rule thing. So I put my
Sure,
third
man.
mark into brain,
Right.
and then the plus button changed to scar. Do I get 3 and then get a scar if I take more, or do I
No,
get a
You
scar
get a
on
scar
the
on
third?
the third one.
Okay.
So you now have your first scar.
Yeah.
Kilo, give me a focus or survey roll when you get to Eddie.
Would we still consider this a dangerous situation?
Yeah, I'd say you'd still
Okay.
a Kilo would still perceive themselves as in danger.
Okay. That's fair. All right. So I will extra die them. I got a 5.
Actually, I'm looking at it right. So it's it actually has a little synopsis of the rules of scars and the legacy of harm and horror. So scars represent the permanent changes that occur to a character. When you take a scar, you'll write down a narrative change to your character on the nature of the attack that caused the scar. If it's body, it might be a permanent limp or missing eye. If it's brain, it might be that you become withdrawn or reckless. And if it's bleed, it might be that you are always dripping with black ichor, or your body now grows small tendrils where once you had hair.
Oh Lord.
You must also remove a point from an action of your choice and add a point to a different action to reflect how your character has changed because of the scar they now
Oh.
carry. You can return to the game once your circle gets you somewhere safe. For example, I was injured in a fight when a monster attacked. This would be my 4th mark in body, so I must take a scar instead.
Okay, so it is the 4th mark. It's not the 3rd.
Yes.
Okay.
So
you just
I
went
don't have a scar
unconscious.
yet.
Okay, no scar
Yeah.
yet. Good.
Okay, so we're just close.
We're
yeah.
just very close. Good. So what you see? What did you get on your survey of 5 Kilo? I want to say,
5.
or focus, whichever one you wrote.
No.
Survey.
You can see that Eddie has a concussion, and that
He looks like Andrew. He looks like Andrew WK on the album cover of "I Get Wet." Like nose just like it was like a guy.
God.
He looks like a virgin anime character that just saw a pair of boobs for the first time.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my God.
I don't understand what that means, and I don't want to know what that means.
And
it's a
Oh,
thing
well,
that happened.
I think he sees that and like he might assume that your nose is broken, so he might go.
Okay.
Yeah. But more
I get it
importantly,
Yeah.
when you get in, you make eye contact with Eddie. Eddie's eyes, it's not permanent damage, but Eddie's eyes are red from all of the blood that is welled into them. The blood vessels in
Yeah.
Eddie's eyes, most of them have popped.
Oh. Eddie, what the hell did you do?
Eddie,
Get up.
there's a little bit of a
You're
red
like-
haze when you're looking around, but like you can
Yeah.
still see.
Oh, ow!
What do you do?
Fucking ow! Oh shit!
You break anything? What?
Oh fuck!
What happened? Did I miss something?
I tried
Can you
to
stand
talk.
up? Hold on. Can you
Yeah,
stand up?
Eddie's getting to his feet, and
All right.
I tried to reach out to him, and it didn't work.
To who?
The
I think smashing them on your body works better. I don't know.
And Izzy, speaking of which, can Izzy kind of, if
I don't know
they're
which
already
body to
asleep,
smash him on.
the ones that are alive but are asleep, can we make them permanently sleep?
Yeah.
Unless we want to interrogate
You're gonna
one.
kill him?
Because Izzy doesn't know that they're people, right?
Yeah, no one
I
right
don't know
now
that
knows
either.
that they're people. Maybe
So,
you see
are-
this happening, Eddie. Like Izzy looks like he's gonna
so
coup de
when-
grace one.
I was like,
Yeah.
Wait. No. There's still people in there. There's still people in there. Stop. Don't.
Yeah, they ate people. There's people in there.
No. I mean, like, in their minds, like, psychically, they're those are people. They're afflicted with something and they can get better. I think.
How do you know they
Ooh.
can get that?
Yeah.
Ooh, some
Can't-
won't.
Can Tery be holding one in front of him just while this is happening? Not to interrupt.
Holding one of what?
Of the bodies that Kilo dropped
Yeah.
in front of me?
Mhm.
Okay.
You just want to hold one just because.
Well, Tery, you also hear
It's dead
you
already.
also hear like distant help.
Gary, Alexander's down there. Alexander's down
I
there.
know Alexander's voice. I go towards the.
Oh, your face is so cute.
I know his voice. I go towards the scream anywhere I can find like a stair or something like stairs.
Okay.
Eddie's
He's
gonna
going to
go.
tap Eddie and Keelan go, I'm following him.
I fall right in line.
Eddie, what are you doing?
Eddie's actually gonna walk over and like just sort of like use Izzy as like sort of a to like hold on to keep his balance for a minute and just be like
Like a prop, yeah.
don't kill anyone yet. And Eddie's gonna go over to the bar.
Well, guess I'll
That
just
seems
start
right.
tying them up then.
Yep.
Same, most relatable character.
So Nim, Kilo, and Tery, after Tery frantically looks for a basement entrance and finds one, run down kind of concrete sub-basement stairs to approach
It's my
a door that is locked.
Even though Tery is so excited, if Tery will allow it, I think Kilo will attempt to take the lead just because we don't know if there are still things down here, and wants to make sure that Tery does not get hurt. So
Oh yeah, Kilo. Someone
just,
is
like,
trying
pluck
to
him by the
shoot
shoulder
me.
and kind of push him back.
Yeah,
So you
somebody's trying
should
to shoot.
maybe
Who the hell's
you
trying
both
to shoot?
stay
My
like
brain just feels like Izzy just
you
becomes
stay in
idiot
front,
by Izzy.
Kilo, and Nim can
Stay in
stand behind me, and then we're settled.
That's
We can
fine.
go.
Actually, that's perfect. That's fine by
Yeah.
me. All
Terry,
right.
between you and me, I don't know what kind of meat shield you think I am. I am white meat. This is not going to help anybody.
I'm white.
Okay. Do you think the bully would go
Because
across you?
Oh.
So then, like, I should have bought the body. Anyway, let's find Alexander.
Kilo,
Anyway.
you see a storage door with the classic sort of like wired reinforced glass window into it, and on the other side of it, you see a man in a very you see and you can hear the pounding a lot more. You see a man at the doorway with disheveled hair in a purple suit that's a little too big for him, banging on the door and being like, let me out of this fucking place.
Oh,
All right. Hold on one second. Tell us something you only know about one Tery Byte. Hold on. Tell us something only you would know about Tery Byte.
Where the baby finger is.
Oh boy.
You know Alexander knows where that baby finger is. What that baby finger do.
Where's the baby
What
finger?
that baby finger do?
I hate it.
It does crimes. crimes.
It does crimes.
It helps
Give me a
print
sway
stuff.
roll, Kilo.
We all know that it does
Wait.
crime.
How is it that we've made it this far without referring to it as a butterfinger?
A little butter.
I rolled.
Oh, wow.
Because I would rather be happy, Will. I would rather be happy to hear that with these ears, with my only ears.
That's
I would rather be happy than hear
I
that,
rolled
Will.
a disadvantage. I got a 3.
3.
Will. Every day, Will.
What are you, a bite, baby? Let me out of this fucking place.
Your Alexander has a mouth, and I bust the door open. I was like,
I'm glad you're happy.
Kilo
I
is
can no
thinking
longer be.
this guy sounded so much nicer on the recording.
Kilo, why would he be stressed out or aggressive at all in this situation?
I'm trying to help, all right?
It's like, I'm offended at your tone.
Did you open the door,
Yelling at
Kayla?
me.
You got toe with me.
This
I
is
can't be.
it's
I don't
the-
care if you're
I'll crush you too.
Rudeness is not
The
an
smile is
excuse.
permanently ruined my shirt.
Did you open the door,
I
Kayla?
did this for you. Yeah, I opened the door.
I did this for you.
Can I run too?
Yep.
Alexander?
Run.
And pick him up. He's shorter, way shorter than
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
and then,
He's like he's
How tiny is
he's like
Alexander?
on us,
Alexander is like
holding
5'4", 5'4", 5'6" if he's wearing his lifts.
Oh, just a little
And then
guy.
I'll hug him and like roll with like his little legs dangling, like
Mhm.
Alexander, I
Uh,
miss you.
Kilo and him, you get a front row seat to something very interesting, which is Alexander gets picked up by Tery in this embrace and spun around. And Kilo, you were just looking at a furious man that was
Yeah.
like had no space for nonsense, and something that you recognize because you've had it, but you don't see yourself when you have it. You see yourself when you have it. Had it, but you've recognized it in your husband before when it comes to your kid. The paternal / maternal warmth that just
Yeah.
seeps through every like micro movement
Yeah.
on the face, this natural thing, because
How
Tery
deeply.
is safe, and that
Yeah.
means everything is okay for Alexander as he
Yeah.
immediately softens and embraces Tery back and is like, Tery, the protocol, it worked. You got my message. You got the projection and everything.
Did you turn me into a secret agent or something?
I
need
didn't
to
want to
scream.
turn you
What is
into a
wrong with
secret
you?
agent. Nothing's wrong with me. You were always gonna become one, and it's a little faster than I thought it would. But
Alexander, I missed you. I had to do my own stuff. It was so hard.
oh,
So-
sweetie,
And
I have returned a
I know-
crutch to this man.
I know you described him as being picked up by Tery. I didn't think Tery was that tall.
He's taller than 5'4".
Tery's like average, I think.
Tery
Okay,
is
I-
1
Yeah.
inch taller than average height.
Okay.
That is canonical.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I was just wondering like
Yeah.
if it's like if Alexander
He
is
just
like
always seems small
played by
compared
Danny
to Kilo.
DeVito or something.
No.
Everything's small in comparison to
Alexander,
Kilo.
think of him.
That's a
he's
fact.
5'4", so think like Dustin Hoffman.
I'm not a scientist, but I know.
Young
my
Dustin
heart of
Hoffman,
hearts.
right?
Ooh, I was thinking that
Within my heart.
DeVito, but
No, he's
I know.
like honestly, if
Diddy.
he wasn't Alexander, he would pull as a naughty little guy, but he does not.
Okay.
He is more about that business than
yes.
than allows for that.
All about that
So
bass,
so
bass,
he
bass,
goes, don't worry, Tery, we're good. We're safe. You saved me. You apparently, looking back at Nim and Kilo, you apparently, both of you have saved me. Fantastic. I don't know who the fuck
they
you
are my
are.
friends. They are my
Stop
best friends.
cursing at me. You just met me. God damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
is
Am I?
Kilo.
Right.
Do you see how hot he is? But I whisper, Tery whisper, but he's married, so he's my friend. And that's Nim. She's my friend.
Okay. Protocol. Okay, we need to get out of here because I imagine that there's been a lot of violence upstairs based off the noises. What was the big repetitive thumping noise that was happening a few like a little bit ago? It was just like it was like big like ceremonial drums.
The music was really loud up there. We were in a karaoke bar.
I mean, yes,
Very
we're in a
loud
karaoke.
upstairs.
I figured that out. The
The bass was
Mm,
real
no,
loud.
Alexander, did you hear shots like very loud gunshots?
Oh,
Because
that's
I
something.
think a crazy fan is shooting at me.
I'm sure
You
one
know.
is. I'm sure one is, Tery. Do you have Do you have the truck with you?
Oh, the Cybertruck. I can call for it right now. It was
Please.
sending the blood to whoever kidnapped you, and
They
I don't
kidnapped
know.
me.
They here, right? This
Yeah.
ugly, big
The
mouth
blood,
people.
tongues, and teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to
Hey,
get out. We need to
quick
get out of here.
question.
We need to get out of
Do you
here as
think we
quickly as
Oh,
we
just
can.
stole blood?
Alexander, that was
Do you think
so
we just
bad
stole
for you.
blood
The
for
tongue.
someone that didn't have Alexander? Is that what we just did? Did we just take blood for a third party?
Oh, for their boss, maybe? And they
I don't
are
know.
gonna
I
get
guess we'll find out.
stronger. Oh no.
Um.
I'll call the Cybertruck back.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
we
Alexander holds Terry's hand, like protectively and a little bit possessively, and begins. It's like, we'll have time for pleasantries later. I'm so glad that you're all here. Enormous thanks.
Thanks, Pleasant anymore. There's
Uh,
only
uh,
lies. Safety's a
uh,
lie.
uh,
Privacy's a lie.
Yeah, oh, you're one of those. Every agent,
Joy's a
there's a
lie.
few kind of agents.
Clip
You're one of
versus
those. You're all part of you're part of Terry's. You're part of Terry's sect. I'm looking for a word as me, Steve.
Our circle.
Circle. You're part of
Cult.
Circle. You're part of
Terry's
Terry's circle for the organization, right?
Yeah, we've got a circle.
Terry's a part of a
together,
circle that we are part of, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have so many questions. But we need to leave. Thank you so much.
You keep.
And this is as Alexander is beginning to walk up and out the stairs with Tery in tow in hand.
I'll say to Giggle, isn't he awesome?
Yeah,
He's the best.
he's great.
Meanwhile,
We just gave
Meanwhile,
him an
Izzy,
enabler. What are we going to do? We gave him an
and
enabler.
No,
Eddie are
he's not gonna
upstairs
do shit.
drinking, I assume.
Eddie's gonna start with is gonna just pound a glass of water
We're just
first,
going to have to be louder
and
voices.
then
of
switch to
reason.
a beer.
Drinking. Izzy, you have successfully tied these two up.
yeah, just make sure everyone who is not dead is tied up.
Well,
And
everyone
how's the
else.
bartender looking?
Bartender is maybe 48% there.
Oh no! I want to make it clear. Eddie did not ask the bartender for it. He reached over, and grabbed the glass.
Bartender's
and poured
dead.
himself one.
48% of the bartender remains.
Okay.
There were two people under a table, correct?
Those two people booked out of there the moment they had a
They left.
path because of the disc golf cocktail throw from
Oh
Izzy.
man, I was like,
The Hail Mary
is that
throw.
a secret NPC we get to unlock if we save them?
Yeah,
Well, they saved Yancey, who's still fucking somewhere.
Yancey is tucked in a little corner. Barely conscious, but conscious.
I feel like it should
stable.
have Ferd be
I'm
standing on
gonna-
it. It just be like classic Halloween cat right now.
Yeah.
Can I scoop them up once we get
You're
upstairs?
fine.
Yancey sees you and just starts crying. Because Yancey didn't really clock you during this whole thing. And just
Mhm.
starts sobbing into you. And says,
Into the open chest.
into the
Just the
Yancey
bloody, glistening,
exposed, scaly chest.
Yeah,
Very big chest.
very big.
Yancey
Bulging, rippling,
Yancey-
muscly chest.
and with
Yeah.
I have a lot of
Alexander
emotion.
rescued, with Yancey in being
Happy
scooped up
feelings,
by
just saying.
Kilo, as sobbing, with Eddie
Yeah.
Eddie beer in hand, Izzy having successfully tied up things, Tery Tery with their best friend back, and Nim only going deeper and darker into the ennui that is the reality that they now live in.
Nim's gonna wander over to Eddie, yeah.
All you hear is, or for a brief moment, there's a pause in dialogue, and in the distance, you can hear the sirens of emergency services responding to the fact that there was a lot of noise here and a gunshot across the street and
not
a
want
bunch
this.
and everything. But more importantly, Kilo, you just quietly hear through the sobs, like the kind of weak sobs of Yancey. You came to karaoke night.
Oh.
Oh.
We're never doing this again.
And the camera pans out to, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You ain't never gonna keep me down. I get
Golly.
knocked down, but I get up again. You ain't never gonna keep me down. And what you don't see,
Golly.
what you don't see,
Oh.
several
Uh-oh.
blocks away on a rooftop, after safely seeing him go down an alley, a person stands up, begins slowly and casually deconstructing their rifle, putting it into a case, pulling out a small silver case of cigarettes, pulling out another one and lighting it and everything.
I
Lighting
swear
it.
to God.
And they look down and they're like, good. I'd traded all of them if it was about getting Alexander back. We're in a lot of trouble. And the light of the cigarette lights up the face of Agent Phil Landry.
I said this.
You
I
said it.
said
You
this
said it, and
last
I did
session.
not respond to it. It was Phil Landry.
You-
And Phil Landry
Wow.
Oh my god.
needed
said
you
this.
guys to rescue Alexander and was not going to let anything other than maximum opportunity for that. They couldn't go in alone, but you could go in as a group. They were monitoring there for other
Golly.
reasons, but we'll find out mysteries of that in a while. Special announcement, we are going to pivot games for a little bit because somebody is too busy being too popular and too in demand to play an excellent
it.
game. You can actually go watch the first episode of their game. Kelly, tell them who you are and where they can find you for the next
Hi, I'm
several
Kelly.
Tuesdays.
I want to go watch
For the
the
next
next.
several Tuesdays, you can find me on both Crit Hit Chronicles and Talking XP. It will be on both. And where tonight we debuted our Daggerheart campaign. It's a 10-part series called Bitten. If you like The Last of
Ooh.
Us, you will love this game. But it's very
Excellent.
I'm
Uh,
sad at
Uh,
the same time
uh,
because I love this sequel.
Will, where can people find
We're so
you
excited
on the
for you.
internet?
You can find me on TikTok at Radio Free Will. You can also find me on YouTube and Twitch at Radio_Free Will. You can also find me. You can find my GM page at startplaying.games/GM/Radio Free Will. And yeah, I'm basically Radio Free Will everywhere that matters. The two variations are Twitch and YouTube, and I just mentioned those. So
Julia, where can people find you?
Hi. At stark.ju. I'm Julia and I do some drawings there.
Yes, you do.
They're
Yeah, she does.
fantastic.
They're
so
very good.
good.
We're not biased at all.
Ah!
Glitch.
I was
I
impressed
like
by
to
Julia
do
before I even knew
drawings.
Julia.
Yeah, I've been
Stunned,
following their
like,
Dimension 20 art.
flabbergasted,
That's how I found them on the internet.
amazed,
I won't.
floored.
Glitch, where can people find you on the internet?
Eyes have been blessed.
You can
I've
find
never
me
seen
at
anything
that
so
son of a
great.
glitch on TikTok, and there's a link in my bio to other places to find me.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And Abby, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me mainly on TikTok. You can also find me over on Radio_Free Will.
Yes.
On his channel on Twitch on Wednesdays. We're doing 1 or 2 more episodes, I think, of the
Yep.
Armored Asters. We are having a blast. Crazy shit keeps happening, and we have a lot of good emotions. So check us out. We're having a good time.
And you can, of course, find me at Dying Exposure across the internet. You can
Your
find
game,
me,
mommy.
your game mommy,
Mommy.
wherever
Thank you, game mommy.
you want to consume things. take a listen to the most recent episode of GTV Pod coming out in a couple days. Ghost Town Video. We talk about some really interesting like action 80s and 90s like Hong Kong girls with guns genre stuff. And also I made my buddy watch Bad Girls from 1994, which is a absolutely terrible Western.
Oh God.
Starring various actresses that you'll recognize, including a young but not extremely young, because we all saw E.T., Drew Barrymore. It's not a good movie, don't watch it, but do listen to his pain about it. And me rant on about the Final Destination series. But until next time, we will be back in Cosmos Candela later this summer. But until next week, when I figure out what fucking game we're gonna play, and as a little fun side campaign here, thank you so much, chat. Thank you so much for joining me, and you all have a wonderful evening. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
My FOMO is gonna be so bad in this interaction.